What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another video. If you're new, make sure you subscribe and join the family, and if you've been here before, welcome back. So as you guys can tell by the title today, I'm just gonna be going over little tips and tricks that have helped me get through my own personal pregnancies. I get a lot of questions from family and friends who are currently pregnant or, you know, through their pregnancies, ask my advice. So I thought, why not make a video? So I'm gonna be sharing some of my experiences and just some tips and tricks that I learned along the way. As you guys know, I do have 2 kids, and so of course I've had 2 pregnancies. And so I'm just gonna be sharing, some things that have helped me get through, or maybe some things, people don't tell you what to expect, or stuff like that. So I'm just gonna be, helping my sisters out a little bit. I did take some notes, so I can stay on track because my mind be all over the place. And let's get into this video. I mean, I feel like it's okay to ask questions, but as we all know, every pregnancy is different. Like, I've had 2 pregnancies and both were completely different. Like, I would have asked advice the second time around, none of it would have helped. With my first son, I was sick maybe a month the entire pregnancy, and that was towards the end of my first trimester. And with my daughter, I was sick all 9 months. So imagine barfing your brains out, not being able to eat, and just being completely sick, like you have the flu for 9 months.
My God, why is there vomit everywhere?
It was hell. I love her, but I wonder if it's true, because a lot of people say, like, when you have girls, they literally suck the life and beauty out of you. And I felt like I was just completely miserable and so ugly when I was pregnant with my daughter. My son was a different story. Like, I loved being pregnant. Him was so smooth. I didn't really have any issues until towards the end of the pregnancy. And I was like, I had borderline preeclampsia, but everything was fine. I did eventually have to have an emergency C-section with Keegan because I wouldn't dilate past 8 centimeters. And since I had a C-section with him, I ended up having to have a C-section with my daughter. Another thing to expect during pregnancy is that you are just gonna be so freaking tired. Like, you're growing a whole entire human and your body is drained. It literally takes a lot to grow a baby, and I didn't understand that until being pregnant myself. But you are literally gonna be so exhausted. So just prepare to be taking a lot of naps. But the good thing is, nobody can judge you for taking them naps because you need them. Trust me, you're going to need them. Now, depending on how nauseous you are, or if you're even nauseous at all, you're going to be hungry. Like with my son, I was starving the entire time, and I craved, it might sound weird, but I craved meat. Like, I didn't want sides or sweets or anything like that. Like, literally, I would just have plates of meat. I was pregnant during the summer with him, so all summer long, my stepdad would be on the grill every day, and I would just have big plates of meat every single day. That sounds so funny. Then with my daughter, I couldn't eat at all. If I thought about food, I was throwing up. If I wasn't thinking about food, I was throwing up. It was just horrible. There's a perfect example of how completely different my pregnancies were and how different pregnancies can be. But just enjoy it, because like I said, so many women out there can't even have kids. And even though they may not be easy, they may be easy, somebody out there wants to be experiencing it. So even though my pregnancy with my daughter was horrible, I was blessed that I was able to do it. Do I want to do it again? No. But I'm blessed that I was able to, carry 2 children. You will grow out of your clothes. Some women don't. If you do, just steal your man's clothes or go out and buy maternity clothes. I personally, I've went through 2 pregnancies, and I don't think I bought one maternity thing. I either wore what I had, or I just stole my husband's clothes. If you do have a man there to help you, steal his clothes. Now, another thing, and this is one thing I hated, besides having to throw up all the time, or just throw up period, because I don't like throwing up. I don't care if it's 1 time, 2 times. No, I hate throwing up. But another thing that you will experience is you're gonna practically live in the bathroom, and you're either gonna be throwing up or you're gonna be peeing. That's just how it is. Like, I felt like I lived in the bathroom. Besides your bed, your bathroom is gonna be your best friend. So make sure it's clean and somewhere you wanna be all the time. Now, the thing I enjoyed most about being pregnant is just feeling your baby move. I think it's just so amazing. Like, you literally are feeling another human moving inside of you. And once you start feeling your baby kick, that's when like the anxiety kicks in, the nerves kick in, because you know, like once they start moving and you can feel them moving, y'all, it's about that time. Like it was about the same. I would say it was about the same for both pregnancies. It was around 13, 14-ish weeks, 12 to 14 weeks, I would say, about in that range. That's when I started feeling my kids kick. I feel like the second time around I was able to detect the kicks a lot sooner than with my son, just because I knew what to expect the second time around. But my second time, I felt like I was a pro. There was a lot of differences. For the most part, I knew what to expect, like when it came to doctor's appointments and what this appointment was for and what that appointment was for. I can mostly definitely say that I'm glad that I didn't have a baby during COVID, because I don't know how I would deal with my husband not being able to come to appointments and stuff with me, because literally I can probably count on one hand for both pregnancies that my husband didn't attend an appointment with me. Like, I love that man. He was there from day one. I feel so bad for the women who had to do it by themselves, because like even something as little as the appointments, it just feels so good to have that support there with you, because like I said, every appointment is different. You never know what to expect, and just to have somebody there with you, especially the person that is going to be having the baby with you there, it means a lot, and it definitely makes a difference. Daddies, if you ain't going to the appointments with them, what you doing? So another thing, now I didn't personally experience this myself during pregnancy, but I've heard a lot of women say that while they were pregnant, some crazy stuff went on with their nipples and they got darker or changed or something like that. Now I personally didn't experience that. I guess it can happen, so I just wanted to warn you guys. So if some crazy start going on with y'all little nips, you know why, and that is normal. So one of the things I can say that is difficult during pregnancy is that the normal things that you would do to maybe relieve stress that you can't do, like herbal therapy, drinking wine, taking a hot bath, all that stuff is off limits. So you will have to find new ways to cope with the stress and anxiety that you will have during pregnancy. See, with my son, I didn't really have any good coping mechanisms for my stress. I was just stressed. Now with my daughter, that's when I started getting into makeup. So it is good to find different ways to relieve your stress. That way you can still relax. With Keegan, I had originally planned to have a water birth, but once some contractions kicked in, I had to get an epidural. Now, as you know, if you do get a water birth, or maybe you don't know, but if you get a water birth, you can't have an epidural. So I punked out and I got an epidural, so I couldn't have the water birth anymore. I was in labor for 2.5 days, trying to wait to fully dilate, and once I stopped at 8 and it just wasn't progressing anymore, that's when I had the emergency C-section. Now with Kylie, I didn't really have to make any birthing plans, because since I had a previous C-section, they just advised me to go ahead and have a C-section anyways, so that I wouldn't risk busting open the seams from my past C-section during birthing this one. So they kind of scared me into just doing the C-section anyways. A lot of people told me afterwards that I didn't necessarily have to do it, but hey, I'm happy, I'm healthy, everything went fine, so it is what it is. So once you do choose your birthing plan, just choose what works best for you. Some people do it the regular way. Some people are having birth at home. Do whatever works for you. Don't listen to anyone else. Listen to your body. Listen to your physicians and your doctors and everybody else that's helping you. And everything doesn't work for everybody. As you can see too with the birthing plans, they don't always go as planned. So even though you may set a birthing plan, things happen. It may not happen. Just expect for, you know, plan B, plan C. Once you are in the labor, you're in the hospital getting ready to have your baby, you won't be able to eat anything. They will give you tons of ice. Now I do like my ice, but it just wasn't cutting it for me. So one thing I did pack that I feel helps and that you may like also is popsicles. You won't really need to pack much for the baby at all. Everything the baby will need the hospital's going to provide for you while you're at the hospital, even down to the car seat, pack and plays. Just speak with your hospital. They will have some stuff for you available. If you do want to pack anything for a baby, I would say you can pack a cute outfit. Most people like to take pictures in the hospital with their baby, so I would say that'd be the only thing really that you need to pack. The rest of the stuff the hospital will provide for you. As far as yourself, you really only need to pack clothes you don't mind getting bloody, comfy clothes, slippers, a robe, stuff to do your hair, makeup if that's you. That was not me. And really just stuff for yourself. Like I said, baby's taken care of. You don't have to worry about that at all. Now, I can't really give you any too much tips on a regular birth because I've never experienced that. If you do have a C-section, be prepared to not be able to hold your baby right away. Both C-sections, I wasn't able to hold my baby right away, really see them. They held them up briefly, but you're so out of it, you know, you don't really get to enjoy it. I believe with both kids, I didn't get to see them for maybe an hour or two after I had them, because you know, you have recovery and all that type of stuff. So if you do have a C-section, just plan not to hold your baby right away. That was the hardest part. Also, if you have a C-section, be prepared to stay at the hospital for a day or two longer than you would a traditional birth. You will have to stay extra because they will make sure that you know, have a bowel movement, that everything is right. You just had major surgery, so they're gonna make sure everything is right, so you will have to maybe stay an extra day or two. Also, if you had a C-section, be prepared for about the first week or two. Every time you walk around, it will feel like your insides are falling out, but I promise you they are not. They didn't give me this option or even tell me about it when I was pregnant with my son. With Kylie, I asked about it. Get a belly band. They will provide it for you. It is covered by insurance if you have insurance. Make sure you get one of those because it does help with that feeling, and it does also help you form your stomach back together. But my first C-section was hell without that belly band, so make sure you do not leave the hospital without one or get your own ahead of time. Lastly, I do want to get into some post-pregnancy tips, tricks, information, and also dealing with postpartum depression. When you do get home, you leave the hospital, you want to make sure you have a support system, whether that be your husband, mom, brother, family, sister, cousin, whoever. People who are going to be there to help you, because it's hard. Some of us, this is our first pregnancy. We don't know what we're doing. You can watch and talk to so many people, but going through it yourself, it can be overwhelming sometimes. You just want to make sure you have those people so that if you do need just like a quick 5 minutes to yourself just to gather, because you're going to be exhausted, even probably more exhausted during post-pregnancy than you were during pregnancy. And that sounds crazy because you'd be so tired during pregnancy. You don't want everybody around your baby when you first have them, so you just want to have at least like 2 to 3 people at max that can help you and look after your baby for you. Just people that you know you can count on to help you when you need the help. And that's gonna help you a lot, especially if you deal with postpartum depression. A lot of women don't talk about it, but more of us are affected by it than we speak about. Now with Keegan, I did suffer with postpartum depression and it was horrible. I literally would just cry for no reason. Not no reason, our hormones are going crazy. Sorry if you hear screaming in the background, that's Kylie, of course. Hormones are all out of whack still. They're still trying to get back to normal. We just released the whole human out of our vaginas. Like, it's a lot on us mentally, and that's why so many women go through the stuff we go through after pregnancy. That's why it is so important to talk to someone, your husband, whoever's helping you, and make sure that they can be there for you when you need it. Lastly, doing the deed. Now, of course, everybody's different. We all know our doctors advised us to wait at least 6 weeks to do the deed again. Now, I've heard stories, some women have not. Now, personally, I did because I was a scaredy cat. And like I said, I had a C-section and I was just did not feel flattering at all to even have anybody there, even though it was my husband. But anyways, when it comes to doing a deed, just be safe. Talk to your doctor, talk to your partner. Only you will know when you're ready. I can imagine the difference it would make if you had a vaginal birth. I probably would not want to have anybody touching me or looking at me for probably 6 months versus six weeks. It's really just listening to your body, waiting till you're ready, speaking with your partner, having that open dialogue, and making sure you both are ready to get back down to business, okay? So yeah, that's some of the tips and tricks and a little information that I have for you guys. Let me know in the comments down below if there was some stuff I left out, or if you guys have any more tips or any more tips to help future moms out, or you know, currently pregnant moms. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.